Traders, Cousin Vinny coming to you from theclosingprint.com, December 27th, 2020. I hope you had a festive holiday respite. We'll discuss the indices, all of which were mixed last week with the exception of IWM, which closed higher by 1.88%, and the industrials, which closed flat. We have 10 of 11 sectors that were green last week, with financials leading and breaking out with the banking index, with the only laggard being technology, XLK. We have 17 bullish indicators going into this week, 2 neutral and 1 bearish. The only bearish indicator being NIMO, which did make a higher high recently, but has been fading going into the close on Thursday, leaving us with a more bullish stance going into this holiday shortened week and last few trading days of December. We'll look at some IBD 50 names, some Market Smith Growth 250, and stocks that funds are buying, in addition to the Dow Industrials and a few stocks that showed up on a scan that looked very strong going into this week. Bottom line, we're bullish with 3750 overhead gamma resistance and 3650 to 3625 support going into the last few trading days of the year. Zooming out a bit, we can take a look at the S&P 1500, a broader measure of market participation, with the S&P 500, S&P 400, and S&P 600 mid caps and small caps, reflecting a bullish signal with the histogram above the 2 trigger line and blue and green elder sticks to end the week. Note Bollinger Bands have started to narrow, telling us to anticipate a fast move in the short term, with the advanced decline percent for these 3 groups of stocks, S&P 500 in the upper panel, mid caps in the middle panel, and small caps in the lower panel. We can definitely see higher highs and higher lows as more stocks advance than decline going into the end of the year. Checking the Wilshire 5000, actually only about 3,900 stocks to date, a little misleading. Still has a very nice look to it. We're at highs, consolidating for the last 2 weeks. Buyers did step up towards the end of the week, pushing price action back up into the top of the weekly range, while the cycle continues on a bullish trajectory, with volume tapering off tacitly, as you would anticipate, towards the end of a holiday shortened week. With the indices near or at all-time highs, we also saw the VIX moving lower, which is producing a green signal on a 60-minute time frame, which tells us to look for higher highs and higher lows, together with improving breadth forming a more bullish picture going into this week, with the New York Stock Exchange high-low index still above zero, only off slightly due to the early close on Thursday, but still bullish going into the last week of the year. New York Stock Exchange advanced decline moving higher as well in the lower panel. The 10-year yield is reflecting the weakness in the bond market, all durations, with the 10-year just below 1%. This is bullish for equities as this rises, with LQD, the investment grade corporate bond ETF, consolidating just below recent highs, and high yield corporate debt and junk bonds also giving us a bullish signal. This is bullish for equities going into the week as high yield corporate debt breaks higher, though it was on a little bit lower volume on Thursday's close. With bonds moving lower and yields moving higher, financials are beginning to perform. We have the financial sector moving higher, breaking out last week thanks to the strength in the banking index. BKX broke out above 96, while the US dollar continues in a descending pattern on the daily time frame. RSI has started to move higher, looking for price action to mediate a little bit below this 92.50 level. Still bullish for commodities as the dollar moves lower. As we can see with copper, a forward-looking economic indicator, giving us a bullish thesis for the construction-related names, home builders, home improvement, and construction's products manufacturers, with the lower dollar also projecting higher crude oil prices in the future, breaking out of a 26 to 27 week range. For the last 5 weeks, we've trended higher. We've got a pivot level overhead around $54 per barrel that we're headed for, so another 5 points on crude oil is possible. And gold with silver also moving higher. Gold finally back above the 50-day moving average, a little retest of the 9 and 21 day. Looking for a follow through this week, potentially building the right side of a large cup pattern on gold. So if you're thinking about trading gold, look out for the completion of the cup, maybe the middle of the summer. Gold does look good though. Less of a safety trade now and more of just a bullish follow through in the weeks to come. With sectors showing relative strength last week, 10 of 11 were moving higher. We only had XLU near recent lows. The XLY-XLP ratio also tells us to be bullish equities as institutions do not appear to be bearish. As this ribbon chart continues higher, completely the opposite of what we saw back in February and March when COVID-19 hit, and also in 2018 towards the end of the year, leading to a 20% drawdown after the Fed tightened too quickly. There were still a few months of sideways price action before we had this cascade lower. This looks nothing like February or 2018, projecting a bullish stance by institutions going into 2021. Watching for some of the semiconductors to move higher this week. If they do, we'll most likely see AMD push higher. RSI should turn back up. For the time being, momentum has slowed a bit and shows signs of fading. Applied Materials showing what we're looking for with stocks like AMD, which are sitting on the 21 day. If we see a bullish follow through on Monday, this could lead to a retest of recent highs. With RSI turning higher, stochastics oversold, that would turn up like it did late October, which led to this recent move. While I'm not projecting that this is the same kind of move that we could see, the action on Thursday certainly points to the possibility of a follow-through on Monday. Broadcom, another semiconductor name, consolidating at recent highs, watching for a breakout or pullback to the 21 day. Builder's First Source from previous watch lists continues to press higher, possibly day trades or a continuation. Just keep moving your stops higher as price action moves away from the 9 EMA. Cadence Design, another semiconductor related name, looking for follow through. As the name implies, it develops electronic design automation software and hardware related products for the electronics companies in circuit design, semiconductors, etc., with very nice sales and earnings increasing into 2021. Very nice IBD metrics as well, with a 99 composite rating and RSI line at 85 and rising. Chegg, a lockdown related stock, produces online and printed education materials, books, etc. for school curriculums of all age groups into college level. Crocs from previous watch lists, I only point this out because we're testing the 21-day. If we lose the 21-day on Monday, look for a test of the 50-day. So make sure you tighten up your stops, take profits if necessary. If you've been following this year, stock continues to ramp higher from previous watch lists, only starting to lose the recent trend on Thursday. We see the builders also showing strength. Copper, remember, is moving higher, so we'd like to see this back above the 9 and 21 day. Some of the other builders look better chart-wise. This just happens to be on the IBD 50 due to sales and earnings. So we're looking for a follow-through, RSI to push back above 50, price to get back above volume by price resistance levels, and retest some of these highs overhead. Nice triangle pattern, looking for a breakout to the upside on above average volume. Digital Turbine from previous watch lists continues to move higher, consolidating last week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Potential a retest of the 9 EMA, I would definitely be interested there, or a breakout to new highs. Volume shows that institutions have been very active during the previous weeks, tapering off a bit as the stock flags, which is exactly what you want to see. Prior to a breakout, we'd like to see a breakout on above average volume. Dropbox from previous watch lists, breaking out above that 21 level, following through the past 2 weeks, looking for a higher, consolidating on Thursday, with RSI showing muscle. ENTG looks very strong, holding the 21-day moving average. Buyers stepped up on Thursday, looking for a follow-through. This company manufactures contamination control, microenvironment, and specialty materials used in IC fabrication and semiconductors. Etsy following through after breaking back above the 9 and 21 day for the last month, continues higher. Looking for a retest of the 9 or the 21 day would be a good entry in this zone, so we're watching for that. RSI is still showing muscle, volume tapering off on this recent consolidation. Repeating what we said earlier, banks are breaking out. The banking index looks very strong. XLF broke out as well. With that, Flagstar Bank Corp, which we pointed out several times over the last several weeks, bullish, looking for a follow-through. A little bit extended now, maybe a retest of the 9 EMA or Thursday's price action for an entry. RSI showing muscle, MACD showing bulls are in control, and stochastics continues to rise. Floor & Decor, yet another name with RSI muscle, flagging for the last week on lower volume, exactly what you want to see. Looking for a breakout on higher volume like we had the previous week, or a potential trade. One of the semiconductors I like quite a bit for this week, LRCX Lam Research, consolidating right above the 21-day moving average. A follow-through day on Monday would be awesome. Looking for a break back above the 9 EMA. On above average volume, you can see the consolidation came on lower volume to end the week. Looking for a follow-through this week as stochastic starts to turn from oversold like it did back in late October, which led to the recent run-up. Logitech from previous watch list, the triple top it looks like, can't seem to get above this volume by price band or that 96 level. If we do break out in the next couple of weeks, keep an eye on this one. Still a very strong looking stock. And chart pattern, even though traders did take profits on Wednesday and Thursday. Marvell, another semiconductor stock we're watching this week for a follow-through on Monday. On above average volume, note the flag or recent pullback came on lower volume. We want to see this kind of breakout on above average volume for a trade this week. MPWR from previous watch lists and mentioned, looking for a follow-through as well. Semiconductor related name. Palo Alto Networks following through. These security names are a bit extended, so watch out because FireEye did have quite a bit of a pullback on Thursday. So these stocks could suffer a similar fate. A pullback to the 9 EMA that gets bought would be a potential entry. or the 21-day. Volume was way above average last week, as many of you took profits on Thursday. PKI pulled back over the last couple of weeks. We're watching for buyers as this stock stays in a bullish trend above the 50-day moving average, RSI above 50. The pullback on lower volume is what we want to see. A bullish follow-through day on higher volume with stochastics oversold, getting ready to turn. Looking for that kind of price action like we had here in late November. For a follow-through, MACD should turn back up and cross over as well if that should occur. So watch PKI this week. In addition, we saw a lot of biotech stocks following through last week. A little bit of profit taking with Argen, Repligen last week on lower volume. RSI is above 50. Looking for this trend to continue and retest recent highs. MACD is above its signal line. Stochastics is a little bit overbought at present. RBA, a stock we traded on this recent run-up. Looking for a follow-through now as stochastics turns back up again. These turns have led to appreciation and short-term swings with follow-through, so look for a retest of 72.80, 73, and potentially a test of highs. RSI still above 50, and price action looking bullish into last week. Watch institutions appear to be buying as well, and MACD looks like it's going to cross over this week. Stamps.com, I imagine a lot of people are staying away from the post office. This company is reaping the rewards. Volume coming in, institutions have been picking up shares, looking for a retest of recent highs. Connect the highs. There's going to be some resistance right around 230, 235. So keep an eye on this for a follow through. Potential trade with MACD above its signal line and stochastics showing potential higher prices along with RSI in the short term. Synopsys flagging near highs, RSI showing muscle, volume tapering off as it flags sideways Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. MACD still above its signal line. Keeping an eye on this one for potential retest of the 9 EMA and bounce or a follow through and breakout this week. Taiwan Semiconductor, yet another stock very similar to what LRCX is showing us. Looking a lot better now after 2 weeks of consolidation. I got to believe Taiwan Semiconductor is going to break out. A lot of people are looking for higher prices here. Stochastics turning back up. MACD looks like it's starting to turn. Look for a follow through and a break above 107.50 or so for a confirmation on Taiwan Semiconductor this week. Tempur-Pedic riding the trend in new home sales, transitioning away from the lockdowns and tighter population control for the suburbs and other states where restrictions aren't as dictatorial, reflected in its sales and earnings going into 2021. The stock continues to break higher and remains in a bullish trend on this weekly time frame. Other stocks in its industry group also looking pretty strong, confirming the price action we're seeing earnings. Last time around, 124% change, a 34.55% beat for TPX. Teradyne also looking very strong going into the week. On Thursday, we saw buyers step up. We're above the 21 day as a potential. We could retest that before following through. Very nice bullish trend in an area of very little supply. RSI is still above 50. Stochastic starting to turn again at the 50 zone. The company manufactures IC test systems for the automotive, communication, consumer, and computer electronics groups. Looking very nice on this weekly time frame. Sales and earnings continue to climb, double into 2021 what we saw 2018, reflective of a very strong management team and a 99 composite rating. RSI line continues to rise at 87. Earnings continue to beat for this electric semiconductor equipment stock and IBD 50 name. Trade desk consolidating and watching how it manages the 21 day over the next couple of days. Viva Systems, I believe Kathy and her crew over at ARC Investments bought some Viva last week, I believe on Tuesday or Monday, the 21st. Vertex Pharmaceuticals, another name that's above the 9 and 21 days, spending all of its time over the last 3 weeks above that moving average. Now it's above the 50-day. Look for a follow-through and a retest of recent highs. RSI is above 50. VIP Shops holding what looks like a cup and handle pattern, looking for the breakout on this relatively inexpensive stock. Look for a follow-through. It is a Chinese name, so be careful. Volume shows institutions have been picking up shares up until about Tuesday, when it started to taper off Wednesday and Thursday, as fund managers most likely took a break for the holiday. Look for MACD to cross and stochastics to continue higher and break out this week on volume for a potential trade. West Pharmaceuticals, yet another name in the healthcare group that looks good. Above the 50-day now. Look for a follow-through and a test of the 290, 294 zone real quick, and then maybe a test of 52-week highs if this strength persists and volume picks up. MACD showing bulls are in control, and stochastics is a little overbought at present. RSI suggests we could see higher prices in the short term. Workday, I believe Kathy also bought this stock last week. Looking for a follow-through and for volume to pick up. MACD above its signal line and rising. Additional stocks that Kathy's group bought last week on the 21st. Apple, of course, Adobe, Amazon, Alibaba, I'm not sure what they did there. Looking for a follow-through in IONS, looking very bullish, along with Viva Systems. Shopify, a nice buy. I think they added to their position on the 24th, going into the holiday shortened weekend. In addition, we saw other firms buying some of these stocks. This is a list of stocks on IBD that funds are buying. Look for a follow-through, pause the video, and check these out. Some of these names look very strong. INSG, of course, in the 5G space. GRBK, looking for a breakout on this one. Looking very strong. Looks like it's going to push off of the 21-day this week. Inexpensive stock at $24 per share. And finally, the stocks from the relative strength scan, MarketSmith stocks showing follow-through, trading near highs. Most of these will likely continue higher. Pause the video and check these out. These all look very strong going into this last trading week of December. Okay, traders, that's going to do it for me. This is Cousin Vinny coming to you from theclosingprint.com with your weekend video newsletter for Sunday, the 27th of December, going into this last trading week of the year. I'll send out a watch list later tonight, 11:30, 12 o'clock. It's been later lately only because I've been spending more time with the family and have gotten back to producing the watch list later in the evening. So it will be out later tonight. Watch for that in your inbox. Also posted on the watch list channel in Slack, so you can check it out there as well. Take care, have a great evening, and I'll talk to you soon.